Again, it's good to see everybody here today. Hopefully the weather holds till we get home, and then it can just rain all at once. This last week, Dad and I had to go up to Frankfurt. He's the director of the Kentucky League on Alcohol Problems and Gambling Addictions. And there's a committee, there was a bill that's in committee about allowing mail order, sales of mail order wine. In other words, somebody can go on a computer or call them up, somebody that's out of state, and order wine or something and have it shipped to their door, sort of bypassing all the people that we normally have in place. And it'll kind of bypass, right now the way the bill is written, it sounds like it will bypass a lot of the checks on whether or not the recipient is over 21, they live in an area where alcohol is allowed, and kind of bypasses all that. So hopefully the committee doesn't approve it, so it goes to the floor for final votes. But we just need to keep that in mind and keep track of it. Dad will keep track of it, and we'll be able to know what's going on with it. And they probably wouldn't like me if I had a chance to speak, because it would be kind of based on the sermon today. That's found in 1 Corinthians chapter 12, or then actually chapter 13, the way it looks in my Bible, verses 1 through 3. Chapter 13 we traditionally describe as the love chapter, and it's used a lot of time in weddings, starting with verse 4 and going on through the end. But this first section is not about romantic love. It's about brotherly type love, doing things out of love. And as we read, at the end of chapter 12, Paul's just been going over the different gifts, spiritual gifts, and describing how the church is made up of, it's one body, but it's made up of many parts, just like the human body is one body, but it's made up of human parts. And he's just finished up that description and telling people of Corinth how the church should act. And then he starts off, and now I will show you the most excellent way. If I speak in tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and surrender my body to the flames, but have not love, I gain nothing. Okay, that's the verses. I don't know if y'all sometimes feel like on the news or just different things, especially like with the NFL debates that are going on, people that get on talking about that stuff, it just sounds like a bunch of noise. They're just clanging and making a bunch of noise, and a lot of it's because, the way I feel, they're not doing it out of love. They don't have love for the people. So if you really want to get your point across, do it in a loving manner. Like with Dot, she used to work at the hardware store. And she said that there's another guy of a different faith up there, and then there was two other guys that worked there also. And these two other guys would get into arguments about the Bible and stuff. And when that happened, Dot and this other person then would go into the office to get away from it. And because they would just be arguing, not really making their points or anything. But the guy would listen to Dot, because she would sit down and talk with him, listen to what he said, and then come back, and she would say things like, I see what you're saying, but here's what I believe. And she would talk with him in a rational, calm tone. And so by her doing that, the other guy understood more than what he was getting from the two outside arguing on things. And that's because Dot did it in a loving, listening, responsible tone. She would listen to his side, get his points, and then she would respond and say, here's what I believe or what my church believes. And just have a discourse like that. But if you just get up and just start railing and saying things, you become like a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. Just a bunch of noise. Nobody's going to want to listen to it. And same with prophecy and gifts of prophecy. And if you just get up and say, the world's going to end on this date, and you just keep on harping on it, instead of saying how you did it, or you say other things that you believe to be true, but are not necessarily true according to the Bible. And you believe you can move mountains, which we should have to believe we can move mountains. But unless we do it with love, we are nothing. And same with this, if you give all to the poor and surrender your body to the flames. But if you do that without love, you gain nothing. You need to give to the poor out of love for them, and give so that they receive the blessing instead of you trying to do it to receive blessings. You should always be trying to bless somebody else, not yourself. And getting back to with me, Dad and I had kind of kidded him about wearing red up there, so that when he spoke, he would really stand out, and they would see him in red, and make a statement of, I wear red, and that's kind of the reason I'm dressed like I am today. I am wearing red in honor and memory of all the innocent lives that have been affected by alcohol, honoring their blood that's been spilled because of alcohol. And I'm wearing black in honor and memory of all the ones that are in the cemeteries whose lives were ended because of alcohol. And so, would hope that the message that would get across to the people of the committee is they need to have love. And they would review the bill with love and take a stance of love. And it would be a love of the people instead of a love of money. So everything we do, we should do in love. We need to speak in love. We need to pray in love. Now, I know there are times it's going to be hard, but it can be done. And we need to respond to everybody in love. I know that sometimes somebody says something, it just comes quick, because it happens to me. And I have to really watch what I say and clamp my mouth down real tight to keep from saying what I want to say. But then take time and process what they're saying and talk to them and see what they were actually trying to mean by what they said. And through that, we can all come to agreements, peaceful agreements, and we can have a better world and a better dialogue. John Wesley preached a sermon on these verses called The More Excellent Way. And he's talking about the exact same things I am. And John Wesley is a founder of the Methodist Church. And that was one of his sermons, is the more excellent way is love. Do everything in love, with love, as we go on and show the world Christ and what he has done for us and his love for us and the world, and that he wants to have a relationship with each individual. And so as we come to a close today, just want, if you want to make a decision, become a Christian, I'll be down here, and if you want to join the church, join our fellowship here, well, come on down and we'll welcome you. And or if you just got things you want to pray about, or maybe talk with somebody about, come on down and we'll pray and talk, and it'll all be in love. And we just want everyone that comes forward to be we want to be a loving church to everybody, and to help people to understand and see Jesus' love. And so as Dad gets ready to come on up and sing.
Number 198.
198, The More Excellent Way of Love.